6 p.m. Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Daman Zaman. The headlines. The Prime Minister has directed to complete the ongoing development projects in the Punjab at the earliest. Pakistan has urged the international community to take notice of the latest revelations about the Pulwama attack and India's propaganda campaign driven by selfish political considerations. Pakistan has invited Chinese investors to participate in international textile exhibition Texport 2023 in Karachi. In Dubai, 16 people, including 3 Pakistanis, have been killed when a massive fire broke out in a residential building. In the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, India has intensified coordinated search operations to advance normalcy mantra ahead of the controversial G20 meeting in Srinagar. The third T20 of the 5-match series between Pakistan and New Zealand will be played in Lahore tomorrow. And now the news in detail. The Prime Minister Mohammad Shahbaz Sharif has directed to complete all the ongoing development projects in the Punjab at the earliest. He was chairing a high-level meeting in Lahore today regarding public welfare projects in the Punjab. The Prime Minister said previous regime of the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf had deliberately stalled the journey of Punjab's development initiated by the Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz. Shahbaz Sharif said instead of starting new projects in Lahore, the initiatives launched by the Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz government were kept under suspension. Shahbaz Sharif said Punjab had been handed over to an incompetent and puppet chief minister for 4 years. The meeting was given a detailed briefing about the Imamia Colony flyover project. The Prime Minister directed to complete this project at the earliest. Earlier, the Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif visited the ongoing development projects in Lahore today. He first visited the site of the under-construction Lahore flyover bridge near Arfa Karim IT Tower. The Prime Minister directed to complete the Lahore overhead bridge project in 1 month. Later, the Prime Minister visited and inspected the ongoing work on the Central Business District project near Kalma Chowk. Speaking on the occasion, the Prime Minister directed to complete the Central Business District project in 2 weeks. He asked to pay the labourers 3 times their normal payment for working during Eid holidays. The Foreign Office spokesperson Mumtaz Zahra Baloch has said the latest revelations by the so-called former governor of the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, Satyapal Malik, have once again vindicated Pakistan's stance on the Pulwama attack. In a statement today, she said this disclosure demonstrates how the Indian leadership has habitually used the bogey of terrorism from Pakistan to advance its sham victimhood narrative and the Hindutva agenda for domestic political gains. The spokesperson expressed the hope that the international community would take cognizance of the latest revelations and see through India's propaganda campaign against Pakistan driven by selfish political considerations and based on lies and deceit. She urged India to answer the questions raised in the latest revelations. She said it is time India be held accountable for the actions that imperiled the regional peace in the aftermath of Pulwama attack. Pakistan's ambassador to China, Moinul Haq, has invited Chinese enterprises and companies to visit Pakistan and participate in the 4th International Textile Exhibition called Texport 2023 to be held in Karachi next month. Ambassador Moinul Haq said Pakistan Embassy in Beijing and Pakistan's consulates in Shanghai, Guangzhou, Chengdu and Hong Kong would facilitate the visiting Chinese enterprises and companies. Trade Development Authority of Pakistan is organizing Texport 2023 from the 26th of May to 28th May this year at the Karachi Expo Centre. The funeral prayers of the Federal Minister for Religious Affairs Mufti Abdul Shakur was offered in Lucky Mudworth this afternoon. Religious and political leaders, party workers, besides a large number of local people, attended the funeral. Later, he was laid to rest in his native graveyard. The President, Dr. Arif Alvi, Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif and other political leaders have expressed grief and sorrow over the sad demise of Maulana Abdul Shakur and condoled with his family. In their separate messages, the President and the Prime Minister lauded the religious and political services of Mufti Abdul Shakur for the nation. They also paid tribute to his services for interfaith harmony. This is Radio Pakistan. In the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, India has intensified cordon and search operations to advance normalcy mantra weeks ahead of controversial G20 meeting in Srinagar. The Indian troops are even not sparing children and women and subjecting them to severe harassment during the dreaded operations. Residential houses and private properties are also destroyed to enforce a graveyard silence over and during this visit of the G20 representatives to the territory. Meanwhile, streets and roads are dotted with Indian troops as New Delhi has made additional deployments in the length and breadth of the occupied territory. In a message from New Delhi's Tihar jail, senior APHC leader Shabbir Shah expressed profound grief and sorrow over the passing away of Kashmiri liberation leader Ghulam Qadir Hagro. Ghulam Qadir breathed his last at Aluchi Bagh in Srinagar the other day. In India, the Congress party came down heavily on the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi in the wake of former Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir Governor Satyapal Malik's shocking revelations about the 2019 Pulwama false flag operation. In India, a 60-year-old Muslim politician and former Member Parliament of Samajwadi Party and his brother have been killed in police custody in the BJP rural state of Uttar Pradesh. The police personnel killed Atiq Ahmed and his brother Ashraf while they were being escorted to a medical college in the presence of the police and the media in Prayag Raj area of the state. In Dubai, at least 16 people, including 3 Pakistanis, have been killed and 9 others injured in a massive fire that erupted in a residential building. According to the spokesperson of the Dubai Civil Defense, the fire incident occurred on the 4th floor of a residential building in Al Ras area. The international community has condemned the escalation of violence in Sudan's capital, Khartoum. The United Nations Chief Antonio Guterres has called on Sudan's authorities for an immediate cessation of hostilities and discussed ways to de-escalate with the Egyptian President Abdel Fattah Sisi and the African Union Commission Chair Moussa Faki. In a tweet, the American Secretary of State Antony Blinken also called for a return to talks. On the other hand, the Arab League, following a request by Egypt and Saudi Arabia, is scheduled to hold an urgent meeting today to discuss the situation in Sudan. In Indonesia, 9 army personnel have been killed in rebels' attack in Papua region. The new wave of violence took place after Jakarta did not respond to a request for negotiations from the West Papua National Liberation Army. The group of 7 nations have pledged to speed up the transition to cleaner and more sustainable energy. A communique released today at the end of the 2-day talks in Sapporo, Japan, the G7 officials said they would work to decarbonize power sector by 2035. The meeting, however, failed to agree to any new deadlines on ending polluting power sources like coal. In Somalia, the security forces have killed 3 Al-Shabaab fighters in the capital, Mogadishu. Cricket. The third T20 of the 5-match series between Pakistan and New Zealand will be played in Lahore tomorrow. The match will start at 9 in the night. Pakistan lead the series 2-0. And finally, the weather report. Mainly hot and dry weather is expected in most plain areas of the country during the next 12 hours. Rain with wind and thunderstorm is expected at isolated places in Upper Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Kashmir and Gilgit-Baltistan. And that is the end of this news bulletin. For more news and analyses, log on to our website, radio.gov.pk, and you can also watch the live video streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.